Steppers here on CameraBoy TV, where we bring you amazing, fantastic entrepreneurs who are ruling in the marketplace. And today we are live here at UKAY Photoshop Studios here in the heart of Lagos, and it is a privilege to meet with the CEO of UKAY Photoshop Studio in the person of Mr. Adekola Aguru. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, finally we get to meet with the man that makes the magic happen behind the lens. How are you doing today?
Very well.
Okay, so when I was going through your profile, I read that you've been in this business for the past 19 years. That's somebody like a mentor, so to speak. You know, somebody you can come train under, and you have wealth of experience in this photography field. So how's it been? How did you start it? Why photography? Why can't you consider any other job?
Okay, thank you for that question. Firstly,
Yes.
thank you for having me on this program.
You're welcome.
I never planned to be a photographer.
Okay.
I studied computer engineering, and at first it was more of like a passion. I got my first camera when I was in secondary school, and I got that because I wanted to just take good pictures of things happening around, document moments and all of that. And after secondary school, I went. Okay, I think before admission into the university, I was teaching at a private school. I was able to save up some money to get a better camera, and just being a child, I went ahead to also make my business cards.
Wow.
I started sharing to people, to friends around. You can now call me. I can take pictures. I'm a photographer, and I was doing that for free. Just enjoying myself. And my mom saw that, and she, I was keeping everything for my parents. She saw the card, and she was like, "Wow! So this boy is now a photographer." Wow! So she did something very amazing. She called a very good photographer in town then, and gave him some huge amount of money to buy me a professional camera. So the guy bought the camera, bought the lenses, got everything for me, and she kept them till my birthday. So my birthday, she just gave me a happy birthday, and take your cameras and start shooting. Funnily, I didn't even know where the battery cover was. I couldn't fix film, then it was in the days of analog photography. No, I just saw film, saw batteries, saw flash, saw lenses, and I was like, I didn't even know how to put them together in the first place. I was like, no, I can't handle this. I was using a very small manual, automatic thing that could just press like a phone, and everything happens by itself. So she had to enroll me with a person called Clean Images back then, and I trained under Clean Images, and that was how it started.
I saw something that has to do with New York under your bio when I was going through it.
Okay.
Yes. So would you love to share about that?
Okay,
Is
that
it
was
a franchise here in Nigeria that you have to run a training under them.
no, really. There's a company in New York called Self-Made.
Okay.
They're into retouching services. They have the likes of Beyonce and all of that. All the celebrities around all over the world patronize them. So what they do is you take a picture of yourself, send to them, and they get professionals that will retouch, edit pictures well, like in 6 different countries. And they wanted to come to Nigeria and establish that kind of business. So they wanted to employ, good Nigerians that could train. And they got me on board to train them on how to get photographers to train. So I got like 30 photographers for a start, and I had to train them to help them retouch the picture. So the Nigerian branch is called Design to Trade. So I was employed to train up to 500 photographers to a professional level called Gold Star Editors. Gold Star means that you can actually touch any picture, work on all the softwares for editing, and make them, make the magic.
How would you say you've evolved in your photography from that time? It was in the days of analog.
Yeah.
Now we have the digital. We're in the digital era. We're in the modern day this thing, and then it's not only with camera now. You can with good phone.
Yeah.
You can make good pictures.
Exactly.
So how have you been able to evolve with that? Some people they're still operating in that level.
Yeah.
But how have you been able to grow yourself, evolve with what is happening in the photography world itself?
Okay, firstly, I think it has to do with determination. I was determined to learn it professionally. Let me put it that way first. I was determined to. I had it in my at the back of my mind that each time I set my eyes on any of my mates, I wouldn't want to be like a second-class citizen. I wouldn't want to act as though he's a photographer out there, that the person they used to know back then that was just hustling and struggling to make money. So that was the mindset I had then. And I also knew that I saw what happened to the typists. They were typing to typewriter, and I knew that over time, like now we have computers that have taken over, so they're out of job now and all of that. So, and because of the course of study, my course of study in school, computer engineering, I knew that computer will take over. So I quickly had to seize the opportunity to learn professionally how to maximize, use software, different software to enhance pictures and all of that. I was able to train myself, train several trainings online, actually stuff for training and all of that. So I discovered that softwares, new technologies, with the advent of cameras and all of that, I knew that you have to be at the top of your game. You must know your onions well, else you'll be kicked out of the game. So that's been the driving force. And also I have passion for training. So I was able to also, that's another side of business I ventured into, to train lots and lots of photographers in Lagos. In fact, let me say in Nigeria and beyond.
Wow.
And I've been able to train over 1,000 photographers. I'm still counting.
Yes,
so
that's amazing. So I would say, for everything you do, there should be something that inspires you to just want to continue to do better. And in this area of specialization, in this area of your own field, what inspires you the most to still be on this track?
Okay, thank you for that question. I would say what inspires me the most is the ability to tell my own story the way I want it. As we're sitting here now, anybody could take a snapshot. You can snap at the person, to look as if you're fighting. You're telling the story in your own way. And that person could take the same picture and look as if we are discussing. So I've always wanted to tell my own story my own way. I want people to perceive what is running through my mind. I want people to understand, to appreciate my pictures my own way. I want to tell my own story through my pictures. So that's really driving force, really. I want to stand up in the industry. I don't want to do what everybody is doing. I want to take pictures and make people feel like, wow, I love this. Easily appreciate pictures is what has been driving me so far all through the years, and I think I'm still in the game doing that.
That's great. So another question is that out of the photographers we have here in Nigeria, we have them that they are doing great, even internationally.
Yeah.
Which of the jobs or which of them that this person is up to standard and I can also learn from this person, or this person, I know I can rub shoulders with this person. Who's that person, or like a mentor?
Okay, let me start from the mentorship point.
It might not be in Nigeria, it might be outside Nigeria.
Yes, I get you. Now, I have different mentors in the industry that I learn different things from.
Okay.
For instance, I like Kelechi Amadi Obi, for instance, who is a photographer, a Lagos-based spectacular. The way the business of photography, the way he has been able to, pitch his tent with people that really matter in the industry. Not the middle class, not the low class, but the high class.
Yes.
He takes their pictures, he charges them in millions, and they pay. So I take that from him, and I learn that from him, that I must not be last. I must understand that there is need for me to pitch my tents amongst people that can really pay for my value. So I learned that from him. So I take him as a mentor in that regard. I also like his pictures too. His snaps where I like his quality picture and all of that. Also within let me come down to, I have so many people I take. I learn business from some persons. I learn the art of taking pictures from another person. And from some other persons I could learn, but maybe because of the way he light his subjects, the way he plays around with colors and all of that. There's a guy they call the Island Boy. I don't know which of the country he is now. I think Canada or thereabouts. I like the way he snaps his pictures, because he's into portraiture. He takes portraits a lot, beauty shoots, and that's my own major. So I get inspiration from his pictures. I like the way he thinks and all of that. So I get inspiration a lot of time from him.
how would you love to impact the upcoming generation? You know, as it is now, you are good, and in fact, you still aim to continue to get better and better and better, because this thing doesn't stop. It's on the move. So how would you say you want to impact the upcoming generation that are interested in this field?
Okay, I started that long ago. I think about 9 years or thereabouts. What I discovered is that anybody can take a snapshot. I've been saying that in almost all my interview sections, that anybody can take a snapshot. People don't believe that there is more to photography. The art of taking pictures could take you a lifetime. You might need to learn and learn and learn and learn. In fact, because photography is all about light, so your understanding of light will determine how far you go. So you have natural light, artificial light. People just believe that they could buy a very big and expensive camera and take good pictures with it. No, take it this way, that you have you're a cook, you have imported pots, you have big expensive pots. That doesn't really make a good cook. So you must learn the art of cooking, and you must be a good cook before you can cook, irrespective of how your pots looks like. So the same thing applies to photography. People feel like there's not to learn photography. You can just get a good camera and just start snapping. So I want to really pitch my tent in that field, that I want people to understand that there is more to learn in photography. You learn the art of understanding light. Where is my light coming from? From which direction is it coming from? How do I light up my subject? How do I play around light to tell my own story? So I've been able to, and I wish I still do actually, to train people and make them understand that light will take you a lifetime to learn. You master the art of learning how to control light, how to understand light, how to, a lot of things about light. That's just one part. And that thing is about color. What color of outfit am I putting on? Does it really blend with the background? How about the subject? What's your material color? So complementary colors, contrasting colors, color theory as a subject, something is worth learning. So I also teach about the legal side of photography. You must know about what right do I have as a photographer. Okay. Do I just take your picture and post online? How about your privacy? Do you have right over your picture? If you pay me for a service, do you own the picture in its entirety, or I have a percentage of right over that picture? So
to be able
I
to
teach
also
exactly.
On the,
so
on the
I
outside.
teach about that, and that's what I've been doing to all my students. I also teach about the business side of photography. You must understand business, accounting, finance, marketing, all that put together. You can't just be a very creative person.
This is amazing.
Very. There's so much to learn.
Wow.
You might be a very creative professional, a photographer. You might be good at what you do and not make money out of it. So
true.
How do you pitch your tent? How do you position yourself to people, for people to see that you can actually deliver? How do you convert that talent, that skill, into a profit-making money for yourself?
Yeah.
So we have to teach a whole lot of things. You must understand that you don't need to be a camera have a camera to be a photographer.
Oh,
you must.
really?
Yes. You don't need to. You can rent. You might do that camera. You might be a retoucher. You might be editing pictures.
Yeah.
So many services under photography that you can actually learn. And also, I also teach in my training that it's not about being an event photographer. People believe that. Everybody believes that if you're a photographer, you should be at every event. They get crashed into your events uninvited. They start taking pictures. A picture here and there. They lose the respect.
That can be so annoying.
The value, they lose the respect. So everybody feels like my son cannot become like this kind of person.
Yeah.
So they don't feel like a graduate, an educated person should be a photographer. So we are beginning to change the narrative about photography through our academy, which is situated at Ogba Ikeja. We also run online trainings and all of that for people that cannot really reach us physically. So that has been what has been inspiring my training so far.
Yes, and you've been able to pour out yourself, because I think that's the passion I can see. You like to pour out yourself to people who are willing to learn, to make them understand that it's not only about photography. There's a whole lot.
That's correct.
There's a whole lot. That's the business side, the legal part, the retouching, the editing, the color,
so much
the
more.
outfits, it's so much.
Even your look.
It's very, very key.
That's it. Hello everyone, my name is Adekola, CEO of UKAY Photoshop. I'm a Lagos-based photographer. I consult, I train, I teach, and I shoot as well. I am a STEPPA. Thank you.
And we have come to the end of STEPPA's here today on CameraBoy TV. Don't forget to follow us through on all our social media platforms, and we will come your way next time here on CameraBoy TV. Peace.